global crisis. Our world is in the grip of coronavirus. And maybe you feel powerless. What can you, what can I, what can any of us do that will make any sort of difference in this situation? I remember once, a long time ago, I just passed my driving test. I'd been driving for 7 days and I was pulling out into the road. I didn't see a car that was coming towards me and there was nothing I could do. It was too late. I was totally powerless. Time seemed to slow. In an event which perhaps only took a few seconds seemed to take forever as this car crashed into the side of the car I was driving. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't get out of the way. And maybe that's how you feel today. Maybe that's how this virus is making you feel. You're powerless. What can you do? Of course, the government has told us there are things we can all do to help. We can stay in our homes, we can isolate ourselves. That way we will help stop the spread of the virus. But today, actually, what I want to do is remind you that there is something that you can do, that we are not powerless. There is something we can do that will make a difference. We can pray. In Ephesians 3 verse 20 we read these words, "Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us." We can pray. We can pray to the God who is able to do so much more than we can even think or dream he might do in answer to our prayers. Think about Joshua for a moment. Joshua was fighting a battle and his army was winning, but they needed more time. And so he prayed to God that the sun would stand still in the sky. And it did. For a whole 24 hours the sun did not move in the sky. What about Hannah? She was somebody who desperately wanted to have a child. So she prayed to God, and God heard her prayer. He gave her Samuel. But he did so much more for her as well. We read on in the book of 1 Samuel, in chapter 2, that actually God blessed her with another 3 boys and 2 girls. God did more than she even dreamed he ever would. What about Solomon? Well, he asked God for wisdom so that he could rule God's people well. God made him not only the wisest man that there's ever been, but also the richest man that there has ever been. Think about one from the New Testament as well. Peter and John have just been tried before the Sanhedrin. They've been warned not to preach the gospel. And what do? They return back to the church meets together and the church prays. And they pray for boldness in the face of opposition, that they may continue to preach the gospel and that God would be glorified and that Jesus Christ would be proclaimed. What happens? Well, the persecution actually intensifies and the Christians in Jerusalem scatter and they go to different places all over Asia Minor, and everywhere they go a church is planted and the gospel grows. What a wonderful thing. Within a generation, within a lifetime, the gospel has reached across the Roman Empire and even into the home of Caesar himself. They prayed for boldness. They prayed that the gospel would continue to be proclaimed. And God did more than they ever dreamed possible. In their lifetimes, the gospel went across the known world. What can we do? We can pray. We can pray for our government. Pray for our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. We can pray for the doctors and for the nurses and for the other medical staff. We can pray for those who have been infected with this virus. We can pray for ourselves that the Lord would protect us and that the Lord would keep us. We can pray that through this virus there might be many gospel opportunities